JBN, we keep you informed. I am Michelle Jones, and in the news, 14-year-old schoolgirl found. The police have confirmed that 14-year-old schoolgirl Onika Bryan, a resident of Little Bay in Westmoreland, who had been missing since Monday, March 22, has been found. According to the police, the girl was found in Negril and was transported to a police station where she was questioned and reunited with her mother. A missing persons report was filed on Tuesday, March 23, to the Little Bay police station by Bryan's mother. Bryan is a first-year student of the Hampton School for Girls in St. Elizabeth. 3 in custody after Easter Monday murder. 3 men are now in police custody following the shooting death of a bus conductor and construction worker in his home in Christian Penn, Portmore, St. Catherine on Easter Monday. Dead is 27-year-old Shatik Hall. The police said the identities of the arrested men are being withheld pending further investigation. Reports are that about 8 p.m., Hall was at home when he was called outside by gunmen who opened fire, hitting him several times. He was then taken to hospital where he was pronounced dead. The 3 men were taken into custody following the incident, the police said. Trelawney farmers caught with stolen cows. 2 Trelawney farmers have been arrested and charged in connection with the theft of cattle in Bogue District, Balaclava, St. Elizabeth on Saturday. The police said 46-year-old Bruce Hill and 48-year-old Richard Powell, both of Thompson Town in Trelawney, have been charged with larceny of cattle. Lawmen said that about 11 a.m., an Isuzu motor truck was seen along Bogue Road with the accused men and 3 cows aboard. The vehicle was intercepted and the men arrested. The cows, which were later identified by their owner, are estimated to value $450,000. Over 1,000 pounds of ganja seized in Portmore, guns for drugs suspected. Several men have been taken into custody following the seizure of over 1,000 pounds of compressed ganja at a premises in Brayton, Portmore, St. Catherine on Tuesday. Reports are that during an intelligence-driven operation in the morning, members of a joint police and military operation found an enclosed container with the ganja. Sources believe the illegal substance is linked to the drugs for guns trade with Haiti. The men are now being questioned in relation to the find. On Sunday, detectives arrested 4 Haitian nationals in Nago Head, Portmore, as part of an ongoing investigation. It is clear whether the 2 incidents are linked. Tommy Lee's lawyer denies DJ's involvement in shooting or murder. There will be apparently no brighter days ahead for incarcerated dancehall DJ Tommy Lee Sparta, as police sources have alleged that the gun seized from him and which led to his recent incarceration has now been linked to at least 2 murders that occurred in the corporate area. However, attorney at law Donahue Martin, the lawyer representing Tommy Lee Sparta, has denied his client's involvement in any murders or acts of violence. "We deny any involvement in an act of violence or murder or any acts of shooting," Martin said. Police sources allege that spent shell casings and bullet fragments recovered from the scene of the murders and shootings were allegedly linked through ballistic tests to the illegal firearm seized from Sparta when he was arrested in December 2020. The firearm has also allegedly been connected to 3 cases of shooting with intent. Tommy Lee Sparta's conviction on the gun charge was his first, but it followed several run-ins with the law over the last 6 years. Over 6,000 meals provided for the homeless during lockdown, says Kingston Mayor. Mayor of Kingston, Senator Delroy Williams, says the Kingston and the St. Andrew Municipal Corporation, KSAMC, issued more than 6,000 meals to homeless people during the Easter holiday lockdown. The meals, breakfast and lunch, were prepared and distributed each day despite the restrictions by the KSAMC's Poor Relief Department, along with support from counselors, Corporate Jamaica, volunteers, and various church groups, Williams said. He added that Kingston has become a much more caring city, with a greater thought being given to the vulnerable groups, and said the KSAMC is achieving this with the help of private entities who also help to feed the less fortunate. They may be homeless, but they are still our neighbors, and the councils continue to implement measures to secure their nutrition and improve their safety, thanks to the work of our parent ministry and partners, Williams explained. The KSAMC noted that it now operates a daily soup kitchen, offering 600 breakfasts and 600 lunches daily to the homeless across the city, totaling 1,200 meals per day. It added that a temporary shelter was also constructed at Church Street to shelter additional homeless people since the start of the pandemic, and a transitional facility is currently under construction at King Street. It is expected to provide additional support and shelter to over 100 homeless people once completed. While expressing gratitude to the KSAMC staff and volunteers, the mayor urged other givers to ensure that they coordinate with the local authority when considering to launch feeding programs. Lingering trough to bring rain to most parishes tomorrow and Thursday. The Met Service of Jamaica's forecast rain for sections of most parishes over the next 2 days as a trough lingers across the island. Isolated showers are expected mainly across northern parishes this afternoon, while northeastern parishes should get rain tonight and tomorrow morning. Then in the afternoon on Wednesday and Thursday, rain is expected across sections of most parishes, with isolated thunderstorms across southern parishes. And on Friday, a weak high pressure ridge is expected to build across the island, said the Met Office, noting that afternoon showers should affect sections of northern and southwestern parishes. Private sector not seeking to cash in on vaccine efforts, says Zaka. Chairman of the Private Sector Vaccine Initiative, Christopher Zaka, says the sector is not seeking to cash in on the COVID-19 vaccination efforts, as it is interested only in assisting the government and the country to get out of the health crisis. The vaccination initiative is being spearheaded by the Private Sector Organization of Jamaica, PSOJ, Jamaica Chamber of Commerce, JCC, and the Jamaica Manufacturers and Exporters Association, JMEA. The primary objective is to increase the velocity of vaccination in this country and to vaccinate as many people as possible in the shortest possible time. So our objective and the objectives of the Ministry of Health are aligned. Our objectives are not to make money out of this. We are guided totally by the principles and procedures of the Ministry of Health and Wellness, he insisted. Zaka, a former president of the PSOJ, was speaking last week at a meeting of the Joint Select Committee of Parliament, which is reviewing the novel coronavirus pandemic and related matters. He said that despite the skepticism surrounding vaccination, there is more demand than supply, and the sector groups are focusing on adding resources to those of the government to assist with logistics, software, and other needs. He said so far the sector has provided $14 million in cash and kind toward the effort, and that's about it. There are more questions than answers, because we're at the start of this. We're all learning, but there's nothing sinister. It's all about helping the country, as if private sector has always stood up to do, Zaka stated. He noted that when vaccine supply becomes more readily available and the government has fulfilled the first phase of its mandate, the private sector, under the supervision of the ministry, wants to be engaged to roll out additional vaccination sites with its resources to target the productive sectors. He said stakeholders in the sector are ready to go, and that at this point, there are easily at least 600,000 people who are willing to be vaccinated. Zaka also stressed that there would be no move to force people within its membership into taking the vaccine, nor would there be any repercussions for those who refuse. In our surveys, there's about 25% hardcore who say they won't take it, but if we get 75%, we think we'll be good, he said. The Ministry of Health and Wellness entered a memorandum of understanding with the private sector groups in February, aimed at speeding up the procurement and administration of the national COVID-19 vaccination program. Countries with less means have been scrambling to secure vaccines, as rich countries with the resources to fund bilateral arrangements have dominated procurement. In January, when the private sector groups indicated that they wanted in on the vaccination program, Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton endorsed the gesture. He said that this would bump up the pool of vaccines available to the country without posing a threat to the government's national thrust. Dr. Tufton said public and private healthcare already coexist and would therefore not be ruled out for the COVID-19 vaccination program. There may be some that can afford to pay for it, and they should. I would encourage it, frankly speaking, For those who can't, the public health system has an obligation to ensure that they get. Jamaica records 360 new cases, 4 more deaths. Jamaica yesterday recorded 350 new cases of the COVID-19 and confirmed 4 virus-related deaths, pushing the country's tally to 41,328 and the death toll to 622. According to the Ministry of Health and Wellness, the latest deaths include a 33-year-old woman from St. Catherine, an 88-year-old man from Kingston and St. Andrew, a 53-year-old man also from Kingston and St. Andrew, and a 72-year-old woman from Portland. The ministry also reported 8 more deaths under investigation and another death as coincidental. Meanwhile, of the new cases, 170 are females and 144 are males with ages ranging from 2 months to 96 years. The sex of one of the new cases is unknown. The new cases were recorded in Kingston and St. Andrew 66, St. Catherine 48, St. Anne 38, Westmoreland 32, Trelawney 22, St. Elizabeth 20, St. James 18, Clarendon 18, Manchester 17, Hanover 12, St. Mary 12, St. Thomas 11, and Portland 1. The country also recorded 147 recoveries, bringing the total number of recoveries to 18,444. JBN, we keep you informed. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, leave us a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.